Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here, and if you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my Stampin' Up website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So the card we're going to make today uses the Oh Holy Night Sweet collection from the mini catalogue, the September to December mini catalogue. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, the suite itself is $198.75, but you get 2 stamp sets, you get dies, you get an embossing folder, 2 sets of dies, embossing folder, all this beautiful DSP plus this DSP. And DSP just means designer series paper, so you've got 2 packs of beautiful paper, you've got some embellishments, some ribbon, 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, and the beautiful Starry Night embossing folder. So this is what we're going to use today. We're also going to use the Regal Reindeer stamp set from the annual catalogue. It was in the mini catalogue of last year, but it's in the annual catalogue this year, and the reason we're going to use that is because it has a lovely Peace on Earth stamp that is not too big for what I want. Okay, that stamp set is $33, the Regal Reindeer stamp set. The Oh Holy Night, we're going to use a sheet of paper. You've got all this beautiful designer series paper here. We're going to use this one, and I'm just going to show you the whole sheet. That's the whole sheet. It's a scene, and I have cut a section from the center of that paper. So let me just show you. There is my sheet of paper. That's my 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I cut this piece out of the center. It's 4 1/8 inches deep by the full 12 inches. Okay, now I have to be honest, this card that we're going to make today is labor intensive. There's a lot to it, but if you plan it out and you do it in stages, it all flows nicely and it makes the most amazing card when you're finished. I don't have a sample to show you, but I do have lots of instructions that I need to follow while I'm making this card, just so I don't mess it up. So I'm going to keep those handy. Okay, so I need the Peace on Earth stamp from the Regal Reindeer set. This one. And because it has the red rubber on the back, I will not need my brown foam mat that I usually say we need. So let me just put that to the side. That's the only stamp I'm going to need today. We're going to do some heat embossing with that. So this, let me find my notes and go by my note. Card base is Misty Moonlight. I've got 2 pieces, 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I scored them at 2 1/4, 4 and 6 inches, and they're going to fold Mountain, Valley, Valley. Okay, so this piece here we're going to fold mountain, and when I say mountain, I mean because it's going up like that. Okay, if it's valley, it's going like that. You'll see what I mean when we get, you know, into this card. So there's mountain. So if that's a mountain, the valley has to go this way. All right, so there we've got a mountain. If you look at it this way, a mountain, and there's the valley. This next piece is going to be a valley again, so because we made a valley folding that way, we're going to fold this way. Now I need to be careful and make sure my edges are lined up. I want this to be nice and straight. So then I have this other piece which I scored the same, 2 1/4, 4 and 6, and I'm going to fold it mountain. Now lay it down, valley, and valley again. making sure my edges are nice and straight and my edges meet, the tops of my pages meet. Now I'm going to take these two pieces of cardstock and I'm going to lie this one this way, this piece here, I'm going to turn it around just like that and lay it down this way, so that both my 2-inch wide pieces, if you will, see this piece here from here to here is 2 inches, this piece here is 2 inches, so that they are sitting towards the center, and I'm just going to leave them there for a minute. I also have a 4 1/4 square, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square of basic blue, Misty Moonlight, and I'm putting that down there. I have some basic white. I've got 2 pieces of basic white, 4 1/8 by 2 1/8. Set those at the top. Then I have some scraps. I have quite a large scrap of basic black because I'm going to use that. I'm going to cut 3 things out of that. I've got about a 1/4 sheet of crumb cake. I have a scrap of white, a scrap of copper clay, and a scrap of silver foil. And let me just show you what I cut out of those, because I did this all first. Okay, I used the dies, these dies here, and they are the Night Divine dies. Okay, I used those, and from the crumb cake I cut the manger. That's the big piece there. I'm sure that's the big piece there. That's that's the stable. That's the stable. Then I cut from the copper clay, I cut 3 camels. Now I did that because there are 3 wise men, and that's what I thought I wanted on my card. So I cut 3 camels. And you're going to have extras, you know, you don't have to use all of these pieces, but this is what I cut out to make my card, so I'm just letting you know up front. From the crumb cake, where we cut the manger, now you can cut this at the same time, I cut the donkey from the center piece that was left. Okay, I cut him out 3 times, 2 or 3 times as well. He's going there. The little cow I cut from copper clay, he's there. I have the manger from the black. Now I cut this out 3 times. 3 times for this piece as well, because I'm going to cut off a shepherd and a wise man, and I'm going to use them somewhere else. And from the basic white, when I say somewhere else, I mean somewhere else on this card. The basic white, I cut the little lamb. Okay, so I have enough pieces cut out for 3 of the black silhouettes. Out of the other 2 pieces, I'm cutting a shepherd and a wise man. I have 3 camels. I have a couple of donkeys, some sheep. I've also got a couple of stars that I cut out of the silver foil. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. Okay, so all my pieces that I'm going to use, I'm trying to keep on this piece of basic white cardstock so that I can see them. If I can pick them up. There, and there's my stable on the top. So that was basic black scraps, basic white, copper clay, and silver foil, and crumb cake, wherever I put it, and crumb cake. Oh, there. Okay, so that was my scraps that I cut out. Used the dies from the Night Divine set. The stars came from the other half of the set, the Stars at Night dies, and I cut this one here and this one here, just different shapes. You can cut out any stars you like. I've got a few gems as well that I may or may not use, or I might just use the stars from the set. The stars in the set are beautiful. You got lovely stars, but they're gold, and I'm not sure that they will go with what I'm doing today. All right, so I'm just going to carefully put this piece to one side. Okay, so we've got the cardstock cut, we've got the manger and the animals cut. Just here. We've got the DSP. Now the DSP, we're going to make this card a panorama, so it's going to be a long card. So we need to cut this DSP. Okay, I started off with a piece 12 inches by 4 1/8. I'm putting my paper in my cutter, and from the left edge I'm cutting at 2 1/8. So I gotta line it up, 2 1/8. Measure twice, cut once. 2 1/8. I'm going to lie that there. 1 5/8. That's 1 1/2, 1 5/8. 4 1/8. 1 5/8, 4/8, 5/8, and the last piece is going to be 2 1/8. So you're going to end up with a little less than a half inch. I think 3/8 of an inch, that's what you've got left. Okay, so that was from the left, 2 1/8, and then 1 5/8, then 4 1/8, then 1 5/8, then 2 1/8 again. Okay, so we've got the paper cut, the background cut, we've got the animals cut. So let's see what we need to do next. I'm going to take this 4 1/8 piece. Now I'm going to line these pieces up just on there like that, just out of my way for now. Alright, okay, I know it's at the top of the screen, but I need a bit of room to work on, and I don't want them, I want to keep the pieces in the right order so that the panorama flows across the card. So I'm taking this piece and I'm going to heat emboss on this. I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to use the Peace on Earth stamp from the reindeer set, and I'm going to line my stable up to the top of it and about centered. Alright, I'm going to take the manger and put it at the bottom. Okay, so that I can line the Peace on Earth up on the blue portion that is here. Alright, that's why I had to have a smaller stamp than the ones in the Oh Holy Night suite. So I've got that sitting there, my manger, my stable silhouette. My stable is there, my manger silhouette is at the bottom, and I'm going to use Versamark. I hope I've got everything ready. I'm going to use Versamark. But first, I'm going to move this out. I'm just going to wipe my embossing buddy over this paper to make sure there's no static on it. I'm going to put it back. Line it up about the center. Make sure I've got a really good inking on my Peace on Earth stamp. And I'm going to stamp that right in the blue. Just like that. I can see it. I'm going to move these pieces out and put them back with the pieces I need to keep. Oops, piece of paper here to pour my embossing powder on. Move that out. Okay, embossing powder. Now I can already see that I've got a bit of outline around my stamp that I'm going to have to brush off, but I've got a little paintbrush that I can use to do that, you see. So let me just get my little paintbrush out, brush this off very carefully because I don't want to mess up the parts I want to keep. So I'm just loosening that and moving it out of the way. I'll give it a ping on the back. There's just a little bit there. There. I'm going to tip this powder right back into the container. Hoping I can hit the container. You'll have to excuse my heat gun for just a minute. I'm warming it up under the table. And I'm going to pin my piece of DSP just carefully to my little board here so that I don't burn my hands. That's hot, and I'm going to heat this. And you know that when it melts, it goes a bit shiny, and I think it's all gone really well. So we're going to put this down now out of the way. We're going to glue this piece to the 4 1/4 inch piece, and I'm going to use liquid adhesive, partly because this piece warps a little bit, or warped a little bit when I heated it. So now I'm going to use liquid adhesive on the back. I got a nice Tombow there. I should have. It should be dry. Okay. Now when you're using liquid adhesive, you know, often less is more, because sometimes it soaks through the paper, but you want to get adhesive all over. You know, you've got to get it like right to your corners, even though it may squish out a little bit. Let me just set that there. I'm going to turn this over. Oops, doesn't matter which way, but I'll work right sides up. And I've got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around this piece. Now because it's warped a little bit, I'm just taking a little extra time and going right around the edges and pressing on the corners, and I'm going to turn it face down and really give it a good press, because I want every single part of this to be stuck down. There, that should be good. It looks like it's all nicely stuck down. A bit there maybe. And you see I did have a little bit of adhesive squished out at the side, but that's okay. I want to make sure that this is all stuck down nicely. Okay, so we'll just set that off to the side. We're going to take the 2 Misty Moonlight pieces. We're going to bring them down here. Now they're still sitting the way they were, face to face with the 2-inch panels towards the center. Alright, let me just, so we're going to glue the DSP down to the center panels, here and here and here and here. So we've got the, what would it be, the 2 1/8 piece here and the 1 5/8 piece here, the 2 1/8 piece here, the 1 5/8 piece here, so that it works towards the center. All right, and again we're going to use liquid adhesive, and I like to get it, you know, fairly close to the edge of the piece, but you've also got to remember, as I say, that it might squish out and we don't want that. I'm just going to pick this piece up and bring it right in front of me. And this piece is going to go on here like this, again about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And making sure you've got your DSP. Oh, that was a lot squished out. That will hide, that will disappear when it dries. Making sure that if you're using a directional DSP, you use them all in the same direction. Okay, whoops. And I've got the stars at the top again. That's going there and that's going there. And then on the other piece we'll do the same, making sure the stars are at the top. This piece goes here, just about 1/8 of an inch. Oops, did I move that? I think I gave it a little push. And this piece. Not sure why that's getting stuck. See if I've got another one. Stars at the top. I've been saying you've got 1/8 of an inch around. You don't. You have 1/16 of an inch around. It's just a very, very narrow border. Alright, so then we need to get these two pieces together somehow. So we're going to take this 4 1/4 inch piece that we embossed on. We're going to turn it face down, take a ruler and a pencil. We know it's 4 1/4 inches across. We're going to mark it top and bottom at 2 1/8. Because that's the halfway point, 2 1/8, and we're going to draw a line down the center. It's on the back, nobody's going to see it. There, got a line going down the center. We've got two pieces at 2 1/8. So let me make sure the top, hold your piece like this and flip it face down. All right, you're going to take your left panel, we're calling this the left panel and the right panel, the left panel, and you're going to fold it, this end panel, over like that. You're going to put your adhesive here, on here, and then you're going to, oh, went off the edge there. Just get that out of there. You're going to keep it folded down. You're going to pick it up and turn it over, and you're going to put it on this piece of card up against the pencil line. All right. Now, the reason for the pencil line is because if you open this up, you would see that this piece that we folded over does not go right to the edge there. It's got a space. Okay, so we're going to turn that back face down. Okay, everything's still lined up. Stars are at the top. We're going to take the right piece, that's this piece, flip that over and put your adhesive on here. Pick it up, flip it over again onto the blue card, the base, and butt it up against the other, like that. Now, let me tell you, when you stand this on your desk, stand it up to look at it, as though you're looking at it from the top. It should be sitting like that. You've almost got a WW or a double W, whatever you call it, with a piece on the front. Okay, this piece on the front. If you lie it down flat, it should look like that. And there's your panorama going right across all your 5 pieces. So we're going to put the stable, the manger, and all the animals on the card right now. So let me just bring in this piece of basic white that I laid them all out on. Okay. Now, because the animals are going to be layered, okay, let me just show you. We've got, you know, the shepherd is here. The shepherd is here on this piece, but I want 2 shepherds, so I just cut one off. I trimmed it off right there, you know. I've got a couple of shepherds. The wise men, I wanted 3, so there's a wise man. I stamped out this whole piece 3 times. I cut 2 shepherds off the ends, and I've left 1 wise man here and 1 shepherd here. The other 2 pieces that I cut the extra wise man off. And you know, you can leave the shepherd on there, if the sheep on there, or you can cut it off if you want to, whatever you wish, okay, whatever's easiest for you. But I wanted 3 wise men and 3 camels on my card, so that's what I've lined it up to be, okay, and that's the pieces I've cut out. So we've got a stable here. Now this stable is 5.5 inches high, okay. I'm going to put it up to the top of my card, and you will see, if I put this underneath it, you will see when I put this to the top of my card that the edges of the stables are too long. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to put this down, and when I'm finished, I'm going to cut those 2 pieces off, because I'm going to have, you know, a sheep or a donkey or something overlapping that, so you're not going to see this little foot of the stable anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put liquid adhesive on here, and I'm going to glue down the top of the stable only. That's this piece here, okay, because I want to be able to pick this up and pop a shepherd in there, or pop a camel in there, or whatever I need to do. So let me just move that, just the top of the stable, okay. There, just like that. Try and get it in the center, and right to the top of my card. Okay, there it is. That's held in place now. These pieces, they lift up so that we can tuck animals or what have you in behind, okay. Now you might think you want to put the next biggest piece in there, which is the manger, but if you want anything tucked behind the manger scene, we got to do it first, all right. So what I'm thinking is, let me lift that out. I think I want to take a camel, and I'm going to turn it over so that it's facing the back. Now the camel, you really can't tell whether it's facing the front or facing the back, okay. You know, you can only die cut it one way, but there's very little detail on it, so I'm feeling okay to turn it over and use the back side of the camel. Okay, and I'm going to tuck it in there like that, behind, so that it's sort of peeking into the stable. Now it can hang over the edge, but remember, not over the fold. Okay, you don't want it sticking this far out because it will get bent, but you can have it sticking over the DSP and off the end right up to the fold if you want to. We're trying to get as much detail as we can on here. Okay, so I'm going to glue down 1 camel. Now sometimes when you're using pieces like this, it's easier to pick them up with a pair of tweezers. This is just a pair of tweezers I found in the dollar store. and I'm going to tuck him underneath here, let him hang off the edge a little bit, make sure he's kind of straight, press him down. We've got the whole manger scene. I think we're going to put that down right now. Okay, just like that. I need a little more on the shepherd. I'm going to put him there so that we've got a wise man with his camel. Everything pressed down nicely. There, like that. Okay, so we got a couple of camels left, and I think I'm going to put the camels on the large panels at the side, the camels and the wise men. So let me glue this, oops, camel here. And you're going to have, like when I said at the beginning, I cut out 3 pieces here and 3 pieces there, you know, three camels and 3 lambs and what have you. And you may not use them all, that's okay, but you've got extras, you know. Let's grab a camel, put him here. Give him a wise man. Oops, put a camel and a wise man over here. There, we got another wise man. This wise man, again, there's not a lot of detail, so I'm going to turn him. Oops, I'm going to put the adhesive on the right side of him because I'm going to use him face down. I need a shepherd. Oh, there's a shepherd. Put him down next. And I think we're just going to tuck him in. Are we going to tuck him in there? You know what, that might be, let's put him in behind, right to the edge. Let's let him hang off the edge just a little bit. I'll find him a lamb to go with him. Okay, I think I'm ready to glue these pieces down. I'm just going to hold it and glue it. And if there's a little bit that doesn't have glue on, it won't matter because the rest will be held in place. So we're just going to drop that. I'm not going to push it too hard. Here he goes. This one, same thing. There. There. And we've got a little donkey here. We're going to put the donkey, we'll put him on the front. A little donkey lying there. Got a little sheep. Is he a sheep or a cow? I think he's a cow. This is a cow. Set him down there beside the, beside the donkey. And we got a little lamb here. Put the lamb beside the shepherd. I'll put him here. And I think that's enough animals. Now you see what I meant about the feet sticking off? It's not going to matter. They're going to get, you know, the sort of hidden by animals, and you know, it's just the frame. So I'm going to turn the card over, find my scissors and use the edge of my card just snip those two pieces off. There. So I have a silver star, or a couple of silver stars here, that could go on here like this. I need to think, do I want a silver star or do I want a gold star? I don't think the gold star will really do it any good. No, I think I like that bigger star right there. So I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the star and put it on there, because we're almost finished this card. And I know this has been a long video, but once you get organized and you get yourself, you get all your pieces cut out, you can make this card like it's the sort of card you sit down of an afternoon when you've got nobody to bother you. There. So there's that. And then because this card is all blue, you haven't really got anywhere to write. So I'm going to turn it over, and I've got two pieces of basic white, and they were cut, I believe, at 4 1/8 by, let me see, basic white, 4 1/8 by 2 1/8, and I'm just going to glue one here and one here so that you've got room to write on your card at the back if you want to. That's star, and we'll just pop it with the rest of the spare pieces. Move this off. There. So there we have it, and we've got some little gems that we could just use to highlight it a little bit. I'm thinking I like these. They're called elegant faceted gems. They're not current by any means, but I never throw my gems away even when they're old. Let's have a look. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if it's going to work. If it'll work nicely, we'll put one right in the center of the star. That'll just give that a little bit of depth. Yeah, it did. That worked nicely. And then maybe just use these for just a couple of sort of snowflakes. Just, a couple of gems just to highlight little bits. 2. There. Just for some little snowflakes, and there you have the card lying flat on the table, panorama, but when it stands up it is one beautiful picture, and it stands up like that. It will stand on your desk like that. Okay, so you see it like this. Can I lie it back? This piece sits up and you've got the whole panoramic view, and that's your card. When you fold this card closed, this piece tucks into here like this, this piece tucks into here like this, and it fits in a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 envelope. And it is such a it's just an amazing card. I'm just so happy with it. I really am. So that is my own design. I sat and played with this for probably 2 days. This is my own design. Copy and share it if you wish. And as I said, if you want a PDF of the instructions, email me here at stampsandtea@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to send you a PDF of the instructions when it's all finished. By all means, copy and share. Just say where you saw the card made in the first place. And if you sell your cards, please use the Stampin' Up Angel stamp, which just has all the supplies used as Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody, and being patient for this extra long video. I hope you think it was worth it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. See you next week.